she was just a girl. She expected the world, but it flew away.
Welcome back to the Comeback Kid, everyone. When we were last with you, we were discussing transfer rumors in the world of soccer, and now let's move to rumors in the world of baseball. It is the baseball offseason. It is in full swing, and there's a man hailing from the country of Japan by the name of Shohei Otani, and in Japan, he's often referred to as Babe Ruth. So this man, he is 23 years old, Shohei Otani is, and he's a phenom who profiles as a future star not only on the mound, but also at the plate, meaning that he is a stud pitcher and he can rake. So two-way players is something that we have not seen in baseball ever since like the dead ball era, pretty much, in like the early 1900s, late 1800s. So it's going to be really interesting to see if he is able to make a splash here in the MLB. But before we get into that, let's acknowledge Giancarlo Stanton. He won the MVP this year, 59 home runs. What a season by Giancarlo. The closest MVP vote in the last, 40 to 50 years. There was only like 3 points separating both Giancarlo Stanton and 2 points separating Giancarlo Stanton and Joey Votto.
Yeah, and also let's not forget Jose Altuve, the American League MVP. And I actually have a question for you guys. When was the last time that both the AL MVP and the NL MVP wore the same number?
Oh my God. Astros in 6? I don't know. I have no idea.
My guess is 2004.
It was 1990. Both Ricky Henderson and Barry Bonds both wore the number 24. I just thought that was interesting. You know, I don't know. I was watching MLB Network on Friday, and I just thought it's interesting. You know, might as well throw that question out to you guys, see if you guys knew it.
Yeah, I had zero clue. That is really interesting. Astros. I apologize to everyone at home for saying that.
That's why we're champions.
Oh no. Moving on, Shohei Otani. So across 5 seasons with the Nippon Ham Fighters in the Japanese League, he's put up a line of a 286 batting average, 358 on base, 500 slugging at the plate, pairing up with an ERA of 2.52 with 624 strikeouts in 543 innings. So based on those statistics, it kind of initially appears like he's a better pitcher than hitter. However, he is like a perfectly serviceable hitter, I think, in like any lineup based on those statistics. So my question to you guys is, will there be a team that takes a chance on him as a two-way player?
I think that there will be a team that takes a chance, but I don't see him working out as a two-way player just because the game is different here than it is in Japan. And I think that we can agree that like the quality of Major League Baseball is better than the quality of the Japanese leagues. And I think that's, it's pretty evident when you see that the best players in Japan come here, and when a player here can't get a job, they go to Japan. So I think that I'm sure a team will give him a shot as a two-way player, but I don't think he'll be able to succeed in the way that he succeeded in Japan, just because I think the game is just more difficult over here.
I think this is the first time in a while where someone has a legitimate case of being a two-way player, as in both pitching and hitting. The last person that we saw try to do it was Betancourt of the San Diego Padres, and
that was more of a publicity stunt, though. I honestly feel like there was no chance of that working.
I'm sure it was something along the lines of that too. Just the fact that it was the San Diego Padres, it should give you all the information you need. I think the one thing that's interesting about this whole case is his age. He's only 23 years old, which means I'm not gonna even pretend that I know the international signing rules or how they work, but he's gonna be owed a lot less money if he signs now, which I think makes his value all the more competitive. And I think we're going to see teams like the Tampa Bay Rays, who normally are a smaller market club, want to go after this guy just for one, because he's going to be a great player, but also, the publicity. I mean, you look at Tampa Bay's like average attendance, and you're like, how low can you go? Like it is like 2,500. It's something ridiculous like that. So I think there would be a lot of teams that are willing to take that risk with him. And hey, if hitting doesn't pan out, then you have a really good pitcher. Like that's what it is, or vice versa. The one thing that's interesting about this case, though, is that it all goes down today. Today is the last day that teams can submit offers that for him to be posted. So I think we'll have a lot more information for you next week for sure.
And I think bringing up Tampa Bay is very interesting. They, in their most recent first-year player draft, they drafted a player out of the University of Louisville by the name of Brendan McKay, who won there's an award in college baseball for best two-way player, and he was a top pick in last year's draft. I think he was the 3rd overall pick. So it's been proven that Tampa Bay is willing to risk, high-profile draft picks with this sort of risk of being a two-way player. So it'll be interesting to see if they go out into the free agent market and get Otani and make a similar risk with him. So are there any other teams that you guys can envision him going to?
I think Texas is another obvious candidate. I think they can outbid anyone, but I don't think this is really more of a money issue. But what I think is to their benefit is as long as the talks are heating up between them and Yu Darvish coming back, I think that's very appealing for another Japanese player to want to come and have kind of that sense of familiarity in the clubhouse. I know Darvish is very outspoken and awesome clubhouse kind of person also, so that can be very beneficial to both players as they kind of grow together. So I think Texas would be another candidate. I would not be surprised if the Dodgers submit an offer. They feel like they can buy anyone. I make the joke with Nate a lot about how the Red Sox think they can get anybody. But if the Red Sox think they can get anybody, chances are the Dodgers probably already got that person. And we haven't really gotten there, and I don't even know if we're going to spend a lot of time talking about it, but Stanton is now rumored to go to the Dodgers. What is going on? So I think Rangers or Dodgers. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, thanks, Matt, for that insight. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where Otani ends up when it's all said and done, even if he even decides to come to the U.S. this offseason, because if he decides to wait until age 25, his payoff that he could receive could be upwards of $200 million versus, the $5 or $6 million he could receive this season. So he's in a very interesting dilemma right now. Does he want to make an instant impact in the major leagues now, or does he want to wait for that massive paycheck? We will see. Moving forward, I think I would wait for the paycheck. I don't know about you guys. I mean, $200 million is a lot of money, and you're set for life. Your kids are set for life. Your entire family is just set. So, going to be very interesting to see moving forward how that goes about. So, Nate, I'm gonna take a back seat here for this week's Ride the Bus because you have choice words for our Ride the Bus recipient this week.
Yes, finally I get to do a Ride the Bus segment. This is nice. So, riding the bus this week is former U.S. men's national team manager Bruce Arena. And Bruce, the reason you're riding the bus is because you decided to go onto the Fox broadcast for the U.S. men's national team friendly against Portugal. And there are really a couple things that I got to say about this. First off, I do not blame Fox for asking Bruce Arena to come on the broadcast because that's must-see TV, because American soccer fans are going to tune in because they want to know what this guy has to say about the obvious failure of the U.S. men's national team not qualifying for the World Cup. So I do not blame Fox. But I think Bruce, and, Bruce's agent, just the people around Bruce, I think that, you got to have more self-awareness than this to go onto the broadcast a month. It's only been a month, really, since that disastrous night, October 10th, 2017, in Trinidad and Tobago, a day that will forever be ingrained in my memory and in the memory of American soccer fans across this country. I think that for him to go on the broadcast, I think was just an absolute disaster for him. And also some of the stuff that he said on the broadcast, that they're players who aren't slipping through the cracks, that the soccer system isn't broken. I mean, it was just how delusional can you be? How out of touch of reality can you be? How honestly insane can you be? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And I think that defines who Bruce Arena is. Doing the exact same thing over and over again and expecting different results Bruce, you shouldn't have gone on the broadcast. So, Bruce Arena, ride the bus.
Bruce, we need to have a heart-to-heart. Brucey boy, like, you've overstayed your welcome. I mean, I don't understand why anyone would look forward to hearing you talk ever again. Thanksgiving dinner is going to be rough for you. You're going to see your family, and they're going to think, man, this guy, Bruce, you're gone.
Like just think for a second. I think that the fact that Bruce Arena went on the broadcast shows a fundamental problem with American soccer. Do you guys think that the former manager of Italy is going to be going on any Italian football broadcast, or the manager of the Netherlands is going to be going on any Dutch football broadcast? No, because what happened to the Netherlands, what happened to Italy, is a national embarrassment, and it's an embarrassment here. But the fact that Bruce Arena, a month after that failure to qualify for the World Cup, is on the broadcast and is pretty much acting like, oh, there's nothing wrong, nothing to see here, I think shows the fundamental problem with American soccer, that we don't hold people accountable for their failures.
There you go, Nate. Yeah. Let him have it, Nate. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just... oh, my gosh. So, Bruce Arena, ride the bus. Just, Thanksgiving dinner is going to be rough. I think Matt put that very well. So...
Just food's not going to taste the same.
It really isn't. So, here at USD, Nate, there's a few games that you're looking forward to watching this week.
Yes, I am. Just a quick update of what's been going on here over at the University of San Diego. So, volleyball finished up their regular season with a sweep of the University of San Francisco. It is their 12th straight win, and I believe their 10th straight sweep. So they're flying high. For football, defeated Marist 35-7, and became the first team in Pioneer Football League history to post back-to-back 8-0 seasons in conference play. They've won 21 straight conference games, 31 straight home conference games. And they're now going to head to Northern Arizona this Saturday for their first-round playoff matchup. And, things are going really well for football. They won I think that this Pioneer League Football League title was their fourth in a row. And I think they're like sixth in the last 7 years, so that's pretty insane. And then basketball defeated Norfolk State on Saturday, 71-62. They're now 3-0 for the first time since the 2013-2014 season. So Lamont Smith clearly has things going in the right direction. And they take on Arkansas Little Rock tonight, Monday night at 7 p.m. So, if you're on campus, come out. Come out and support the boys. They are definitely on the right track.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks for updating us with everything that's going on this week here at USD. Matt, what are you looking forward to watching this week in the world of sports?
It's more like, what are we looking forward to?
Yes, that's right.
Friday afternoon, Black Friday. People are going to be shopping, but we're not going to be. We're going to be watching the Ducks and the Jets. Finally getting out to a game this year. Super excited. But I think from now on, I'm just going to be watching for Neymar transfer rumors to Real Madrid. Because as we know, like LeVar Ball, we're never wrong on the show. We predicted, or not predicted, but talked about Carlos Beltran retiring before MLB Network did. So we're obviously unbeatable. So I think if this ever happens, we'll just cement our legacy as being the greatest sports talk show ever.
What about you, Nate? What are you watching this week?
The Comeback Kid, your number one source for breaking news across all sports. But
yes.
What I'm going to be watching this week is this Saturday, is the game, as it's called, Michigan against Ohio State. And dear Lord, the only thing that I want, please God, is just a victory over Ohio State. Michigan has beaten them 3 times in the 21st century. So please, God, please let us beat Ohio State. This is all I want. What about you, Ben? What are you going to be watching?
I will be watching Liverpool versus Chelsea this upcoming Saturday. 2 top drawer Premier League sides going head-to-head this next Saturday. It's going to be an exciting day at Shakespeare's Pub and Grill down in Mission Hills. I'm not sure all of us will be there, but if you at home want to try out Shakespeare's and not have to hear our annoying voices, just go there this weekend. It's going to be a great night. So that's it for us. I don't need to go through the motions of saying all that logistical stuff anymore because we have a brand new outro that is also paired with our intro. So, great stuff, you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to us this week. And have a very happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We will return next week at Monday at 9 a.m. We will see you then. Have a great week, everyone. Check us out at USD Comeback on Twitter and Facebook, or search The Comeback Kid and give us a listen on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/ComebackKidUSD. And for those of you listening on Facebook, Twitter, or SoundCloud, we broadcast live every single week at 9 a.m. on the USD radio station, which can be found on the TuneIn Radio app. TuneIn is available on both Apple and Android app stores. Once you download it, just search USD Radio, favorite that page, and you'll have access to USD Radio wherever you go. Thank you all for listening. We will see you next week.